Morning, guys. First cup of coffee for the morning, so it's always awesome. We've got a bit of traffic noise today, so hopefully this all comes through okay. Welcome. So we're in the final 2 weeks and things are ramping up. It's really cool. People are spreading the word and I'm starting to see a lot more people come through, which is really fantastic. So, shout outs for today. First up, I'd like to thank Candy. Candy's come through, she's helped pledge and she's actually doing a really great job in helping network out and spread the word, which is cool. I'd like to thank Ross. Ross is over in Canada. He's organised his first journal, so I'm going to be shipping a journal out to him so he can jump in and start working through his shit. I'd like to thank Craig. Craig's in Australia. He's going to get his journal, and Craig is a business owner, so I know that he's going to find a real benefit in putting the method of feel, think, do into expanding his business out, because he's working on some big stuff, which is really cool. I'd also like to thank Mary. Mary is over in the US, and Mary, this is awesome, man. She's gone out and done her Christmas shopping in July, which is really cool. One of the reasons why I created the Christmas in July reward is because when it comes to journaling and just sorting our stuff and working out what we're doing, a lot of us have this belief that, you know, we're okay, we don't need to do this, whether we don't want to step up and look at it, or we don't even realize that this is going on. So the reason I created the Christmas in July reward, which is where you get your own copy and 4 copies, is so that you can help spread it out to friends. Maybe you know someone who needs a bit of a hand, but they may not realize, or they're not quite in that right mind space for it. So I wanted to be able to help people help others, which was kind of cool. So thanks guys, it's going really well. And we're in the last 2 weeks, so we're going to ramp it up. Anybody who hasn't come and checked it out yet, jump in, have a look. If you like the idea, if you like the rewards, jump on and help support it, because as I've said, we're only as successful as, you know, the people that believe in it. So guys, I'm going to try and keep today's pretty short. Today we're actually going to look in the journal, and I want to look at 2 particular parts. So let's start from the top. First up, in the journal, I wanted to give people a quote each day. Now, when you go through your social media feeds, when you look on the internet, you know, Facebook, Instagram, we see quotes and inspirational words coming from all of us. Now, this is a great thing because there are amazing people throughout history who have shared wisdom with us. And when we read words like this, it does create something inside us, you know. Everybody will interpret things different ways, but we see these words and it invokes happiness, it invokes creativity, it makes us want to strive for more, it makes us stop and assess ourselves. And this is fantastic, like at no point will I say this is a bad thing. But when we see these words, quite often we'll read it and go, oh, that's nice, and then we move on. So what I started to do when I was developing the journal was I would find a quote. Sometimes it was in another journal that I was using, and I'd read it. But instead of just reading and letting it go, I started to write about it. I started to actually look at the quote and go, okay, what does this invoke in me? Why does this quote inspire me? What does it make me think? What does it make me want to do? So in Feel, Think, Do, I wanted to give people that space. I want you to be able to read what's going on, feel it, detach a little bit, and put it into practical perspective. When I read this, it makes me want to, and then write it down. Every quote will be different. Every quote will inspire you in a different way. But one thing you may find is that if your mind is focused on a particular theme, each quote, you will relate it back to what you're working on that time. And it may give you new perspective, or it may help you progress and create action. So that's why I put the quote in there each morning. Now the second part that I wanted to look at is first question, first answer. Now these line up. And in the final copy, I am updating this because one thing I found with the testers is some of them woke up and went, I didn't write in it this morning because I didn't have a question. So I'm changing it to first statement or first thought. Now the idea behind this is when we sleep, our minds don't stop. We keep processing what's going on. And quite often it's while we are asleep that we process the really important things that we don't think about during the day because of all the clutter that's in our head. But this is important shit. This is shit that we need to get sorted. So the idea of the first thought, I found that I was waking up, and it's one of the big ones was in regards to the business I was starting at the time. I would wake up and I would ask myself the same question. And it took about 4 or 5 days before I realized that every morning I was asking myself the same question. Now on some mornings I'd wake up, ask the question, think on it, I'd answer it, and then I'd get up and go and do stuff. I didn't actually look at the answer, nor did I look at what I needed to do to action that answer. After 5 days, I went, this is ridiculous. Why am I not doing something about this? But during the day, you forget about it, and it's not till you go back to sleep and you process it again. So you're effectively having deja vu every morning. So what I started to do, I kept the journal beside my bed. And one morning on day 6, I woke up, I had the same question, and I rolled over and I wrote it down straight away. That was it. I didn't answer it straight away, I just wrote it down. Now in this instance, when I got up, I didn't have an answer. So first answer didn't exist at that point in time. But what I found was during the day I did read back and think on it. And I started to actually detach the emotion of why I was freaking out about the business and look at it logically. On day 7, yes, I asked the same question, but this time I had an answer, so I wrote that down, and that's how first answer came into being. So this is a really important part, and everybody will use it differently, but the idea is wake up, allow yourself to have that first thought, but then do something about it. You know, the thought can be one of happiness, the thought can be one of gratitude, it can be one of mindfulness, it can be something that's challenging you that during the day you're not aware of, but during the night your mind's just clicking it over. And over time you will start to answer the questions, you will start to ask new questions, you'll have new statements. Now the joy of this section is every once in a while, and this is a rare thing once you're aware of it, you'll wake up and you'll go, and you'll have nothing there. You won't have that statement. You actually wake up with that sense of peace because nothing comes to mind. And chances are, if that's the case, you'll have had one of the best nights of sleep you've ever had. That's the benefit of this section. As you start to be aware of what your mind's going on and you focus and you start to understand it, you will find that you will actually sleep better. Because as you're working through this entire process, you will go to sleep with a calmer mind, less clutter, and you won't be working overtime. So guys, trying to keep this one fairly short. I can't seem to crack under 5 minutes, but then there's a lot to this, and you know, I hope you enjoy it. I hope the journal is starting to make more sense. So I'll say goodbye now, and tomorrow we'll move down into feel, think, do, and the many ways that people have put it into use. All right, thanks guys.